Hello, hello. Welcome to Everything Hypnosis with Susie Bowers. I'm so glad you're here right now. We are going to have so much fun. Have you ever wondered how those stage hypnotists do what they do? How do they get people to do crazy things and get so silly while everyone's laughing at them, volunteering to go up on stage? I've always been fascinated by it, and I'm so excited because that's what we're going to find out about today. Woohoo! So welcome. I'm Susie Bowers. Welcome to HypnoProfessional, Everything Hypnosis Expert Interview Series 2020. We are here to ignite your hypnotic awesomeness. Woohoo! Let's do this. All right, I'm going to get rid of that. And today I'm so excited and so deeply honored to welcome my very special guest, world-renowned stage hypnotist, Tommy VEE, to the show. So let me tell you a little bit about Tommy. He's also a hypnotherapist and has a clinical hypnosis center. He's going to be coming live to us from Boston. Boston. You got to say that right. Boston, Massachusetts. So without further ado, let's welcome Tommy and let's get this show going. I'm super excited about this. Here we go. Hold on a second. Where'd you go? Ah, there you are. Bye.
All right, let's rock and roll. How are you, Susie?
I'm doing great. And I'm just going to do a little housekeeping really quick. So bear with me for a minute.
Sure.
We would love for you to share with us where you are watching from. So if you would, just drop a little note down below and say, hey, I'm watching from wherever. I'm streaming live to you from Stockton, California. So me and Tommy are far away from each other over there. Anyway, also, if you want us to see your comments and you have questions for Tommy, please make sure and allow us to see your comments by clicking that link that I put in the chat. And I can see some of the chat right now. So in order for the Book of Faces to allow us to get your information and see your comments, basically, you have to click on that link. So, all right. So we're excited to be here. So Tommy, let's find out more about you. So you do stage hypnosis, amongst other things. Tell us how you got started in that.
Well, I'll try to keep it short. I got into hypnosis at the age of 30. My major in college is hotel and restaurant, but my dad was Jerry Valley, who was in hypnosis for 45 years, a pioneer in stage hypnosis, worked with Orman McGill and Shelley Stockwell, and started the Ultimate Stage Hypnosis Seminar. So I was out of work. I got fired from the hotel. Dad said, why don't you try hypnosis? I said, I don't know. So I was always shy of going on stage when I saw Dad do it. So he said, well, just do clinical hypnosis. So I learned to help people stop smoking and so on. Then one night he had a show locally and he said, come as my guest. You're the guest hypnotist. I'll hypnotize the group and you come out and do a few experiments. So I did that. I made the belly button disappear or turned somebody into a singer. And then I got my feet wet and that's how I started doing shows. And that was a long time ago. Today I do shows, I do clinical hypnosis, and I also teach stage hypnosis. And I lecture and so on. So it's a good combo.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
I would love to learn that. I'm going to have to come take your class one of these days because I would love to learn it. It's so fun. It's just fun. I used to think it was a little hokey. I actually participated once in high school. So, but in high school, it was so long ago. I don't remember how it all went, but I remember the hypnotist picking me. Like we went through the testing process in the back room, and then I remember them choosing me, and I'm like, uh-oh. Here we go.
It's hard to believe. I mean, it blows my mind every night when strange people come up on stage and they go into hypnosis. And they do just about anything you tell them to do. Just about. That's the secret. Most people don't know that. They think they'll do anything. And also, I do clinical hypnosis too. So there are hypnotists out there, clinical hypnotists, some that think that stage is not good for clinical hypnosis. And I politely object to that by saying that
agree to disagree.
Yeah, agree to disagree. I do both, and I'm telling you, when you do a show locally near your office, you will attract clients.
Yes.
And because they're amazed by what they've seen on stage. It blows their mind. Mm-hmm. And they're like, wow, if you could make that person's belly button disappear, can you help me stop smoking?
Just make my belly disappear. That would
Right, make that do.
It
So,
is, and that's something that I share a lot in HypnoProfessional when I'm working with other hypnotists, trying to help them, build their business, is building credibility and putting yourself in that position of the expert, which is what you're talking about. So when people see you, you're up there on stage, you're very confident, or at least you come across as very confident, and you're making these people, all these things happen that are, almost unbelievable. It just puts you in that position of the authority, and then people are going to be attracted to you because you're the expert.
right. Susie, you hit the nail on the head. Whether you're a clinical hypnotist or stage hypnotist, one really, really, really important factor is your level of confidence. Because people can, if you're nervous or wishy-washy, clients can pick up on that on stage, and even when you're in the office with one-on-one. You're the expert. You have to be very confident. You could be a little nervous inside, but exude confidence, because that person is going to decide whether you know what you're talking about or not.
Two things you just said there just cracked me up. One of my things I say all the time: are you a wishy-washy hypnotist? Are you wishy-washy in your marketing? Are you, stuff like that. But anyway, also what I want to say is how cool this is, how hypnosis can really help you build your confidence. I used to be scared to death to get up on stage and speak and I did Toastmasters and everything, but it was really through years of doing hypnotherapy and building my confidence in that way. Actually, pretty quickly, now I can get up in front of anybody pretty much and talk. I don't like to sing, but I can talk.
And you can do that because you prepare. You know your material. And one thing my dad taught me that gives me confidence when I talk about hypnosis, generally, I or you, Susie, know more about hypnosis than anybody in the room. Mm-hmm. They're coming to learn about hypnosis. So that gives you confidence, or it should. Yeah. And if you prepare for your talks, you have to be prepared. Learn your material.
Yes. And speak from your heart. And always come from your heart. And that's part of being in business too, is like making connections with people. Mm-hmm. That's really what it comes down to, building that energetic and heart, soulful rapport with people. And they feel that, and then they're comfortable, and they'll work with you. And they'll want to work with you. So, you know what I did? You're going to laugh at me. I did something kind of fun. So hold on a second. Let's just have fun with this.
This could be exciting. Whoa! Oh, and believe it or not, I remember that show.
And you, sir, come on up here. Sure. You can go sit in the back row, okay? Come on up here, sir. Okay, you two ladies, you're going to stand to my right. I'm going to stand right here, and you come on over here, sir. Stand next to this gal. Okay, now, let's do this. This is very informal, this part. They just want you to introduce yourselves, because the town scout's like right back there, So I'm going to start to my left. You two pay attention. Now, very simple to do. Just say your first name with confidence, nice and loud.
Chris.
Middle initial.
M.
And your last name. First name.
Chris.
Middle initial.
M.
Last name. Sorry. Can you believe that? It's all right, Chris. It could happen. Just hold on. Swap places for me. No, you stand over here. You believe that stuff? Unbelievable. Just slide those chairs over a little bit. Need a little. All right, that's okay, Chris. Just don't worry about it. I mean, how long does she have her last name?
Oh my God.
Okay, your turn. Nice and loud with confidence. First name.
Lacey.
Middle initial.
H.
And your last name. You're not laughing now.
I just thought that was so funny.
That's powerful, because that routine blows my mind. That's waking hypnosis. Those people are wide awake, but they're still receptive to suggestions. Right. They could not say their last name. Even when the man looks at his license and hears the other person say his name, he couldn't say it. That blows my mind.
It is mind-blowing. I love it. And I want you to teach me how to do that.
Yeah.
And then that way I can hypnotize my teenager while he's awake.
Right. Right.
Well, that is so amazing. And it looks like so
Thank you.
much fun. And it sounds like you had a really big audience there. Where was that?
That was at a Elks Club. An old college roommate of mine is a member of that Elks Club, and they had a dinner show. They had a buffet, and then there might have been another entertainer, and then the hypnosis show. So there might have been 150 people there.
Wow.
It was a great crowd. It was an off the hook, funny show.
It looked like it. It looked like so much fun. I couldn't believe, like, why aren't these people saying their last name?
That's called the name amnesia experiment.
It's very cool.
It's very cool. It's very strong. Very strong.
I'm just checking comments here right now. So nothing yet, but we'll get some people will come on.
Okay.
So, all right. And if you have a question, just let us know and we will try to answer them. You mentioned about stage hypnosis being good for clinical hypnosis, and that you kind of gives people that vision of you being an expert. But why else is it good? What else?
Well, I understand a little bit why some clinical hypnotists have that point of view, especially when they think of the dirty shows. I shouldn't say dirty. The off-color shows, the adult shows, the R-rated shows. They think that, well, that those embarrass people and it's not good for us. However, even that type of show, if somebody in the audience is like, wow, that hypnotist made that person do that, maybe they can help me stop smoking. So there's always that impressionability. And it's good because when you go around locally, people are going to come up after, no matter where you perform, they come up after you and they say they want to buy products. So I sell stop smoking, audio programs, weight control, stress reduction, all those. So you can sell products at your shows, and if it's near my office, I will tell them my office is right down the road on Pleasant Street. If I'm in your town, obviously I don't have an office there, but I would promote your office. I would say, go find a certified clinical hypnotist. I always promote them.
That is really awesome.
Sure.
I love it. I love that so much. And hey, what a great business model you have there to have some other things that you can have other streams of income as part of what you're doing. And that helps people too to get their toe in the water or their foot in the door. And I believe personally that the more people we get to understand the power of their own mind and in overcoming their limiting beliefs or things that have held them back their entire lives, that we are just doing such a huge service to the planet. Because, and I know it sounds a little lofty, but I always say this, we're literally raising the vibration of the planet when people are happier and more joyful and not stuck in their old bad habits and behaviors. So I love that. I love that you're doing that.
Good to laugh.
Absolutely, it is. So tell me how you choose your volunteers and what's the process with that? How do you?
The process, there's 3 parts of the show, basically. I come out on stage and I do my pre-talk. I talk to the audience before I call for volunteers, tell them what hypnosis is, what's going to happen. That's one part. And then there's the induction when I put them into hypnosis, and then the routines. So how do I get them on stage? Your pre-talk is the most important part of your show. That's when they decide in the audience, does this gal or guy know what the hell they're talking about? Am I going to go up there? Am I not going to go up there? Do I trust this person? And so on. So the pre-talk is really important, and you have to make it so sexy and juicy that they want to be up on stage when you say, volunteers, come on up. And I hope I didn't blow out the speakers by yelling.
Not at all.
You want to be a magnet on stage where people, they have to trust you. You explain that, we don't get embarrassed here. This is a blast, a beautiful feeling, all those reasons. And by the time you call for volunteers, you want to see 10, 15, 20 people jump up on stage. And then the rest is downhill. You have to do a good induction, but you have to get them on stage, because if you don't, there's no show.
Right, right.
We stage hypnotists are totally dependent on the volunteers. Great volunteers, great show. Other than great volunteers, other than great show.
I love the whole idea of being juicy and sexy. That's,
right.
That's so cool. I love it.
Yeah.
It needs to sizzle a little bit and get people excited.
Right. So they got to be chomping at the bit when you say, come on up. That's the best sign when you say, come on up, and people are jumping on stage, as opposed to come on up and all you hear is crickets and like one person comes up. That's not great, but you deal with it.
Yeah, you have to roll with it for sure. Hey, we have Jerome Masick here. Thanks, Jerome. Thanks for joining us. He's an NGH member from Cleveland.
Yeah.
Hi, thanks for joining us. If you have any questions, let us know. We'd love to answer them. So I was going to ask you as well too, what is the most important part of the hypnosis show in a stage hypnosis situation?
Well, that's the pre-talk.
The pre-talk, yeah, okay.
In my humble opinion. There may be people that disagree, but that's when you come out, not when I get introduced, here's Tommy V, and then I come out and talk to the audience for about 4, 5, 6 minutes. Hey, folks, we're going to have some fun here. In a few moments, you'll be volunteering, men and women. Volunteers need to be willing and want to be hypnotized, and we'll have a blast up here. It's a beautiful feeling. So the pre-talk, in my opinion, is the most important part. That's when you're going to get them or not get them.
It's the same for me when I'm working with a smoking cessation client or anybody really. I spend a great deal of time in my pre-talk. So we're already using, we're already switching beliefs so that when I think people understand it, they're more receptive. They understand why it's been difficult for them and why now it's going to be easy. It makes a huge difference in how the success of the therapy. So I completely agree with you, Tommy. I think the pre-talk's the most important part of anything that we do in our line of work. And it's a big, switching someone's belief. You can just see the light bulb go off right then, and then you've got them. Then they're ready. They're like, oh, wow, I never looked at it that way.
The person has to believe that they can make the change. And
Yes.
once they believe it, they can do it.
Yes.
Because if they believe that they can't do it, they probably won't. If you think you can, or if you think you cannot, you're right either way.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. I love that saying, and it's so true. I tell that to my teenager all the time. He's trying to get through high school here. If you believe you can or you can't, you're right. And either way, it's okay. Whatever.
In your office, the healing work starts when they're driving to the office. When they could walk in through your front door in hypnosis.
Yeah, and they do. Well, everything's hypnosis.
Right. And so when you're doing your pre-talk, you're starting the healing work there.
Yes.
And the induction is, that's just a formality that they want.
It's extremely powerful. And then the inductions, like the whipped cream and the cherry on top, where they to leave feeling groovy and everything. So Jerome said he's seen a lot of your shows.
Oh, yeah.
He says you're terrific. So thanks, Jerome.
Thanks, Jerome. I know you. That's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So do your volunteers, so basically what we're talking about, your volunteers go into hypnosis during the pre-talk?
Who knows? Well, I don't do any testing on stage, like for depth. That's a good question. When do they go into hypnosis? Maybe when 3 weeks before the show, they're talking with their friends in a bar. Hey, let's get tickets to the hypnosis show. All that, driving or walking into the theater and they see the lights, or certainly when they see the stage with the chairs and, who knows? But, formally there is an induction in the show for them to go into hypnosis, but they could be in hypnosis before they walk up on stage. In fact, before I start the induction, I've been bold enough to do this and to look at the people and say, look at me now. I have a feeling that some of you are in hypnosis right away. And
what a great suggestion.
And I'm looking for the eyelids, closed, and I'll just say sleep to a person and they will collapse in the chair, which is extremely impressive to the people that are waiting to be hypnotized in the audience. So another thing that's important with hypnosis, clinical and stage, is impressionability. You want to impress your clients in the office or the people that are coming up on stage. You have to impress them. You're the obvious expert. It's very important, impressionability. So what else can I say?
That's a really interesting point too. And I interviewed Sean Andrews several years ago. So at Hypno Thoughts, which we'll talk about in just a minute, both of us will be at Hypno Thoughts live. Year 10-year anniversary. Very exciting. So anyway, when I was there last time, I went to Sean's class, and it was fascinating. The room was full. It was packed. There were probably at least 150 people in there.
Wow.
And out of that, he hypnotized everybody in the room. And then there were about 7 people that didn't want to come back. Like they were just, chilling. They were feeling groovy, just chilling there. And so he had some of his assistants kind of help with them. And so why does that happen to some people and not others?
Well, ironically, it has happened in my stage hypnosis career, somebody getting stuck in hypnosis. And it's always been a high school show. First of all, clinical and stage hypnotists, remember this: nobody can get stuck in hypnosis, period. End of story. It's not true. They choose to do that, Susie, for whatever reason. It feels good. With the kids in the high school, it's an attention thing. Oh, look at me, I need help, I'm stuck in hypnosis. That's usually what it is. And there are certain steps to take as a hypnotist if you get somebody that's stuck in hypnosis. Number 1 is do a stronger awakening. Susie, on the count of 5, you're going to be wide awake, completely out of hypnosis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it doesn't work. Next step would be to ask the person, Susie, why aren't you coming out? And a couple things could happen. You might not answer, or you might say a couple things. You might say, I'm afraid, or it feels good. If you say you're afraid, then I need to talk about that. There's nothing to be afraid about. Everything's fine. You can open your eyes. You'll be safe, blah, blah, blah. If you say, I love the feeling, then say, well, you come out of it now. When you go back into it every time, it feels better every time. Okay, so you ask them, they don't answer. The next step would be to blow into the eyelids. And if you have bad breath, that's good if you have bad breath. And the last step.
So no mints, no breath mints before this.
The last step is to leave. Nothing's going to happen to the person. They're going to fall asleep or whatever. They have to go to the bathroom. They got to work.
They'll naturally come back out.
Actually leave. Don't go behind the curtain peeking out. Because they're not asleep. They know what's going on. Leave. So
just ignore the guy behind the curtain.
So usually a stronger awakening does the trick. But to answer your question, why do they do that? How does it happen? It's an attention thing. The person chooses for some reason not to open their eyes.
So do you think that some people are more susceptible to the hypnotic induction than others?
I like to call it receptive, susceptible.
Yeah, susceptible is kind of negative.
That word is used quite a bit, but anybody can do hypnosis if they allow it.
And it depends too on how you feel at different times. So one minute you might be really receptive, and another day you might not. So depending on what you got going on in your mind. I have a client that comes back to me probably once a year to do a program with business. He's a business person, and it helps him to keep his focus on elevating his success. And he was here last week, and he was not coming out. So I just got up, went over to my desk, and just let him just chill and let it process whatever was going on. And it was late in the afternoon, so I wasn't booked after that. So it was perfectly fine. But I thought it was kind of funny.
Susie, here's what you can borrow what Harry Aarons used to teach people to do. The man wouldn't get up out of the recliner in your office. You can say, Michael, you're more than welcome to stay there as long as you want. My rates are $150 an hour.
Over and above it. It's going to be like $20 a minute that you sit there.
Eyes open. I'm awake.
Okay, I gotta go. And I do have your credit card on file, so we're good.
Right.
Oh my gosh, you're so much fun. I'm loving this. This is super fun. So if you have any questions for Tommy, please let us know. And thank you for joining us. We're so happy to have you here. And if you have any questions about hypnosis in any way or anything to do with your business, and that's what we're going to talk a little bit about next. So one of the things you had mentioned, Tommy, so obviously HypnoProfessionals, I'm here to help other hypnotherapists and coaches, alternative practitioners grow their business based on my 35 years of business experience. And I love it. It's really, really fun. So I like to give a tip from successful hypnotherapists, hypnotists such as yourself that have been doing this a while. If you were going to start out brand new in the industry, or let's say you wanted to elevate your success, let's say you've been kind of hanging out, on a certain level and you wanted to do it better, what advice would you give to somebody to be able to elevate their income, to see more clients, or whatever the case is with them?
I always suggest more training, and I mean, you're never too old to learn. So take as much training from as many people as you can regarding in the field that you're in. If you want to specialize in smoking cessation, specialize in that. Get training in it. If you want to do stage hypnosis, get training in stage hypnosis. I can do it. There are other trainers out there too. One tip for the office that I've found that I get clients from is from Google. Okay. And I discovered that I put my address on Google. When you get reviews from your clients, Google loves that. And it's attracting clients to my office. So one of the first things you should ask your clients when they call, the phone rings, Susie, this is Susie. Yeah, I'd like to quit smoking. How did you hear of me?
Yes.
You want to know where they're coming from, where your dollars should be. And a lot of mine, most of mine say, I saw your reviews on Google and they were great. Thank you very much. And then I give them a program. So, and that's free. Mm-hmm. I've got all, knock on wood, 5-star reviews from real clients. And if they do good in my office, I ask them for a review. If they don't do good, I forget to ask them for a review.
Oops.
Yeah, please. No,
yeah,
but
clients are typically really happy to help you out if you just ask. And one of my follow-up systems that I've used for years, it's just been amazing, is to send a handwritten little thank you note after a client's been working with me. And in that note, you can also put the link in there, and say, hey, would you do me a huge favor? I loved working with you. Thank you, blah, blah, blah. Would you please do me a huge favor and go to my Google page and give me a quick review? I really appreciate that. Or Yelp. I know that like Ken Guzzo, he's big on Yelp and he gets pictures of people and he uses Yelp really successfully. But that's great advice. I love that. I never think about talking about Google, but it's really easy. You just put on Google Maps and everything, and it's super easy.
Other thing is ask for referrals.
Yes.
In the office and on stage. When you're on stage, you're doing an audience of 100, 200, 300 people, a lot of walks of life in the audience. Let them know that you all, besides doing this high school show or college show, I also do corporate events, and let them know, plant the seed. And in your office, ask your clients, spread the word. In fact, I have a referral card that I give to the clients. And if they send somebody in, I'll give them a free session, another session.
That's a great idea. I love that too.
And one more thing. When someone comes in because they know somebody that's been in your office, that carries a lot of weight.
Yes.
I know my cousin came to you and they quit. So that's really good.
They walk in the door already having a really strong belief about who you are, and it just continues to build the success in what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So that brings me to this point. If somebody wanted to take a class from you or get certified as a stage hypnotist, how would they do that?
Well, you can contact me at TommyVee.com. That's my website, TommyVee.com.
And I put it up on the screen, so it's
my phone number's on there on the website. You can email me from the website. Training can be done. I offer a 3-day stage hypnosis training that can be done one-on-one. So if we do it one-on-one, you can come out to Boston and spend 3 or 4 days out here, and we.
Oh, fun! Yeah. Just not in the winter though.
No, well, you can if you want. I have a gentleman coming out April 1st.
I'm saying that I'm a California girl, so you get where I'm coming from.
I know.
It's going to be 70 today.
Oh.
Sorry.
We get 50 on Friday.
Woo-hoo.
A week ago it was 5.
I can't even imagine. That's like Eskimo weather.
Saturday, I'm going ice fishing.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
You do night fishing. So you go out on the ice?
Yep.
To do it? Oh, that is so cool. I always wanted to do that. I'll have to come out there and do that.
Yeah.
Very cool. So TommyV.com if you want to find out more about Tommy's stage hypnosis certification. And I'm under the impression that stage hypnotists can also be very prosperous. That there's a lot of opportunity out there to do conventions, like you're saying, corporate events and that sort of thing, and get paid very well for doing it,
Yes.
especially when you're well known.
Yeah. There's a lot of different venues out there. And there's a lot of stage hypnotists since when I started. But there are more venues out there. The more stage hypnotists, the more people are aware of it. And it just helps, I think.
Oh my gosh, there's so much opportunity. I mean, there's service organization conventions, Kiwanis Club, Rotary,
Right.
the real estate agents. I saw that you had done something with real estate industry, and they have huge conventions all the time. There's just so much opportunity. Schools, colleges, it's unending what you could do with that, and use that to help build your hypnotherapy clinical office business as well, and sell products, as like you said, you're able to then also sell products and books and that sort of thing. So it's very, very cool. So one of the things that I wondered about is why do in the stage show that you do, why do you say as if all the time? I love that phrase, but what does it mean to you? What is it doing?
My daddy taught me that. There's a book called An Actor Prepares by
Actor Prepares? Let me write that down.
By Stanislavski, something like that. And it's a great book for actors. And actors know the phrase as if. And the reason why we use it is because of this. It opens up the imagination on stage. Instead of just saying you are now a lion tamer. And, the person might say, no, I'm not. But when you say it like, act as if you're a lion tamer, that's different. It kind of opens up the door. It's imagination. So stage hypnotists, or I do anyways, use that a lot. On the count of 3, act as if you're a world famous musician. 1, 2, 3, go. So that's why.
Yeah, that could be anything, huh? That could be anything. Act as if you could sing like Barbara Streisand.
Instead of just saying you are now Barbara Streisand, the person, the analytical person might say, no, I'm not.
Right. There's resistance that can create.
As if. Oh, okay.
Yeah, as if is just as if you were.
It opens the door.
I love it. That is so great. What a great thing to use it all the time. That's a great hypnotic tool right there.
You want to? Can I share an experiment with you?
Sure, absolutely.
Try, and anybody at home can do this too, or watching even later on. Do what I do, Susie. Raise your hand like this by your face. Spread your fingers. Okay. Now up in the air. Wiggle your fingers. Back down by your face. Make a circle. Look at the OK sign. Look at your circle. Make it as perfect as possible. Look at yours. Now look back at my face. Place your circle on your chin. Your chin's down here. Chin.
You got me.
You wait.
Yeah, I get that. Oh, that's so fun.
I've been using that for 35 years. It's the power of suggestion. You heard the word chin, but you saw this. That's visual, stronger than what you heard. You can use that in your office, one-on-one, to break the ice. It's kind of cool. You can use it on stage.
That's super fun. I love it. I'm going to go home and do that to my son.
Try it on anybody.
Out of me.
Try it when you're selling your business program. Hey, you want to see something cool? It gets people to laugh a little bit.
It definitely does. That was super fun. So anybody can learn how to do stage hypnosis, or does it take a special kind of skill or personality?
Anybody can learn it, but you need to be good at it, like good on stage. You don't have to look like Tom Cruise or anything, but you have to know how to act. There's a lot of acting going on. You're a casting director, figuring out who's going to be in the next. There's a lot of stuff going on up there. And when you're new at it, it's like, oh my God, you got safety is number one. You got people running around doing stuff. Yes. Safety, you're the only director up there. You're running the current experiment. Who's going to be in the next one? This one's sliding off their chair. I need to take care of that. There's a lot of stuff going on, but anybody can learn it. Yes. And then you need to practice to get really good.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts. I've seen that when I'm watching. I'm like, wow. I've seen that some stage hypnotists will have an assistant or someone too. It's kind of helping with some of the behind the scenes things that are happening.
Yeah. I usually don't have one with me, but sometimes, I would welcome an assistant. Just to have an extra,
right there.
Can you get into the tights?
Well, let's not push it.
Well, someday, when I'm working out in California, if I'm near you, we'll rendezvous and you can help me out.
I would love that. I
Yeah.
absolutely would help you. I would love that. That would be a
Yeah.
just complete hoot for me and an honor as well. So very cool. So is there anything, let's talk about HypnoThoughts before we go.
Right.
So I was a presenter, I think I shared with you the very first year that they did the very first one. And it was so fun, such a fun group of people. And I've been there now several years. I've been a presenter. I've missed a couple of years because of the pandemic and stuff, but very excited. I'll be there on the panel talking about business and creating a six-figure business. What are you going to be talking about? You got a panel time too, or a class time?
I've been told that I'm on the stage panel. I think Stephanie mentioned that to me, but the names aren't listed up there yet. But I'm doing a 1 hour program or 50-minute program on Saturday, I believe, maybe Saturday afternoon, on the most important part of your stage hypnosis presentation, in my humble opinion, which is just talking all about your pre-talk, how to do it, the certain parts of it, what's important, what's not important. That's what I'm doing. And the rest of the time, I'll be taking classes.
Yeah. So if anyone, yeah, me too. It's such a great time to learn new skills. I always learn. I learn so much every year when I go, and I always have a blast. In fact, I have to be careful because you could get in a lot of trouble there.
No, that's what I'm saying. Besides the classes, there's really not much to do out there, is there?
Yeah, in Las Vegas, no, there's nothing to do.
Lock calls like at midnight, I think.
Yeah, there's street hypnosis we could go to, and then I think there's a midnight bowling or something, and then there's the pajama party at the alligator bar.
Right.
And there's the pool party, and then there's classes going on all day, every day.
Vegas, baby.
Amazing people that I learned so much every time I go. It's a little overwhelming. I remember going to my room and crashing hard, but we had a great time. It's a great time to come out and learn about hypnosis. It's a great time to get together with colleagues and support each other in the industry, and to come and learn amazing things like from our guest here, Tommy V. So I can't wait to see you there. HypnoThoughts Live is the end of July, first part of August. I didn't write the dates down. It's in my calendar around here somewhere. So if you're interested in that, let me know. Just send me a private message and I'll get you hooked up. All right. Well, Tommy, any final words? I've really enjoyed this. So thank you.
I had a blast doing this, Susie. Thank you so much. Again, I urge all hypnotists to learn stage hypnosis. Even if you don't want to do shows, it will sharpen your skills in the office. You can use some of the techniques from stage in your office. And you could also do this. You can go out and do lecture demos. Go around and talk about hypnosis at the Lions Club for free. And I do this. And you will pick up clients. All I need is one, and it's worth it. And they give you a free breakfast or whatever in a pen or coffee cup. And it could be a breakfast meeting or a luncheon. I do it within 1 hour of my office, and I'll get clients that way. And I'll book shows. That
is such great advice. I totally agree with you. I've done lots of talks, and the one thing that was missing was my ability to do an experiment with the group that was impactful. So definitely something, I've been doing this 25 years, but I sure would like to learn the stage hypnosis. It might be the next level for me, just for fun.
That's cool.
To get out there, and the more that we can educate and share the power of this, and hypnosis means so many different things.
HypnoThoughts is July 29.
Okay, sorry, July 29th, and we're going to be at the Orleans, which is very reasonable pricing.
Oh, great place
there, and it's a beautiful hotel. We just have so much fun. So yeah, great idea. I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure. Namaste, and I can't wait to see you. And we'll talk soon. All right.
Ciao. Peace.
All right. We had such a good time today. It was so fun. I want to thank Tommy for coming and hanging out with us. And remember that you can do whatever you put your mind to. If you need help with your business, give me a private message or drop me a note. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear how your business is going. And then join us next week. We'll be doing this again because we have so much fun. Woohoo! So join me next Wednesday, every Wednesday at 11:11 Pacific time. Everything Hypnosis Expert Interview Series 2022 with Susie Bowers. And woohoo! See you then. Have a great week. I can.